bought raw land and we need a driveway. Right now we are meeting the gravel guy at the land to talk about what it's going to take to get a driveway out there so we can get materials. You're watching American Roots. It feels so good to be back here on the land and seeing everything again, and it's starting to feel more and more like ours, which is good. It's so peaceful to be out here listening to the roosters crow and the crickets, the cicadas. It's so peaceful. It's been so nice. There's a cool breeze. The sun's just slightly warm. It's gorgeous out. I needed a hoodie this morning. It was chilly. It's super cool to dream and start to envision it. This weekend we've been writing our plans of what we want the house to look like. So we laid out kind of a rough 2D blueprint, hand-drawn, and then Joe's gonna put it into SketchUp so we can start to see it come to life. But we walked through all ideas. We spent the majority of yesterday walking through and like building it and sitting with Tag and B and saying, well, what about this? And what about this? Oh, well, that's nice. And it seemed like every time we would get an idea set, Tag would come over and say, what do you think about this? That's great, but... And so we spent a long time erasing and going back and redrawing, and it was a really fun process. It brought the whole thing to perspective, and then I actually could start to see the house in my mind. So that was neat. I wanted to come here with purpose. I wanted to spend this time here doing things that were helpful and meaningful to getting us where we needed to be. And I didn't want to just come here and take a trip and then not really do anything. I'm really a to-do list checker, and I felt like I got a lot done this weekend. We moved the contents of our house, the things we had packed up and we don't use, we moved that stuff and got it put into the storage container. We got the blueprint kind of laid out on what we want for the house, and we started writing material lists. So I felt like we made a lot of gains, and now we are here meeting the guy for the driveway. That's like 10 days worth of stuff we just did in the weekend. I'd say it was very productive. Our neighbor just came over and introduced himself, and that's super cool because we haven't had an opportunity to get to meet them, and for them to just come over and introduce themselves, I was really thankful. We didn't get a chance to meet them last time. They said that they came and we were already gone, so they didn't get a chance, but they came over and they're like already offering hospitality. I've got a skid steer and I've got a front loader, and I mean, it's just super awesome. We've definitely moved to a different part of the country. It's such a blessing. Such a blessing to have such a warm welcome. So our neighbors ended up offering us to come over and join their forging club and learn blacksmithing. That is a dream come true. I gotta tell you. I am sitting in the back. Ed and Joe are in the front. This is neat to have him here with us talking and showing, so we know exactly where we want the driveway. He told us to mark it. So we've got that we need to do. And then we can start to get a driveway in here. He said to start laying the rock anytime before winter, which is good because then we're allowing the rock to get beat down like when any truck comes back here or anything. So we are definitely gonna have to have a lot of rock. I just heard a pop. Pray everything's okay. Pray a blessing. We're getting higher up now, which is where I really wanted to be. There's the cow. His skin is gone a lot more than it was the last time we were here. So we're out here talking with Ed, and he was the county commissioner for 8 years. So he knows his stuff. And so Joe's talking to him about all the different possibilities, what we want to do. So it's really a blessing that he's out here right now. And I just let them do their thing because then I could be back here filming, which kind of worked out. It's so beautiful. We were staying at a friend's house and they open up the windows at night. And it's so wonderful just to feel the cool breeze and hear everything from bugs to gunshots to animals. Can't wait until this is where we wake up. All the building plans that we had yesterday that we were writing out on the blueprint, they all kind of make sense. Like, we're seeing it. See, we got a topographical map the last time we were here, and we Tag taught us how to read it, and we were able to kind of lay out the elevation of the property. We have a lot of hills and such, so that was super cool to get to see that. And then now that we're here with Ed and we're talking about where we want to put things, that elevation map really came in handy, because now we start to be able to think, well, gosh, you don't want to build your house at the bottom of where all the water's going to drain down to. So now we're able to kind of think about things in a different way. And then you can start to see the possibilities of what kind of building you can have, where you want to put it, how it should look. And then there was things we were considering, like the fact that you don't want a north wind having like your entrance to your house on a north side, because we get really bad north winds here. Those were things I didn't think about at all. Like, I didn't think about where the wind comes from, because in all honesty, I thought, oh, we're building up against the trees, like it's okay, you can put it anyway. But that's not the case. So we had to put all of that into consideration when we were building, writing the plans. And so now that we know where we want things, we can kind of start to lay it out. Because we're going to build in pods, so we're going to build pod 1 and then go from there. That way that would get us into a space that we would have what we need. And pod 1 is actually going to turn out pretty cool. There's going to be a bedroom, a kitchen, a laundry room, and upstairs, like, we made it so that pod 1 actually, if it ended up being like, that could be your house, if that's what you ended up having to stop and have. But we're also building it that it could be added on to, because we know we're going to want more space. We know we're going to want our kids to come home. We know we're going to want a place for them, their families, and all of that. So let's get ready. This is super neat. It's just making it so real, right? It's so very real.
So I talked to Ed, the gravel guy, and he said that I just need to mow a path up along the ridge line where we just drove, and looked at it, and then I'll put in flags down the center, and he'll come and get it laid.
Awesome. It seems like it's going to be about twice as expensive as we thought, but it is a very long way.
It's
so
twice as long.
Yeah, so it's exciting. We're on to the next step. This was a good trip. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Until next time, we pray you're blessed. We'll see you soon.